Did you ever see the movie Grandma's Boy? You know JP, the weird bloke who wants to get metal legs.
What the heck are you doing in my apartment, Bearing?
I don't know why, but fucking hell you remind me of JP.
Adios, turd nuggets.
Ha 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 ha. That's real funny, Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, I have a lot of ground to cover.
Shadabites! I got a lot of ground to cover here.
Yes, I just realized I kind of ripped off Creationist Cat. As you all might know, I had been responded to in a Bearing video and had the opportunity to actually talk to him.
Are you saying that I'm lying, Humane?
I'm pretty sure your story just changed completely based on when the evidence was brought to you. At first it was I thought it was a joke that Loudmouth has made. You'd think you would slightly remember that.
I said that I thought it was a joke. Now, I thought it was a joke. For fuck's sake,
Yeah.
You're gonna seriously call me a liar for not remembering exactly how something went down? I mean, if I had malicious intent and I wanted to fabricate something, don't you think I would have gone and listened to the stream before this so I got my story right?
Okay, so you see AIU posting a name in chat and you think that's a joke.
Okay, debate, because that's what it ended up as in a live stream. I just wanted to take the time to review and sum up the gist of everything said in the stream and everything gone down during what I like to call the Bearing Loudmouth Zack drama. As everyone and their pet dog knows on YouTube, there was a time when AIU was on a spree of releasing other people's personal information.
If that shithead doesn't have the integrity to at least admit he was wrong for doxing, let alone apologize for it, why should I? What really happened was I criticized Devin, and he absolutely hates being criticized. That's why he blocks people who disagree with him and proudly bans them. Why? Because he's a fucking coward who can't handle criticism. So what does he do? He doxes them. And what's the point of doxing? To fuck with people's personal lives, to silence them. And why would he do that? Revenge. Has he ever made a video in response to mine? No, he just doxed me to get back at me like he did to his other critics. They found out my real name and tried to blackmail me by threatening to send videos and comments I made to my school, estranged family members, etc. if I didn't take down my AIU video and issue a public apology. They also contacted my fucking sister-in-law to stir up drama, and a month later, they made a fake Facebook of me and added my fucking family because I didn't comply. So, for all the scumbags out there that argue that a name can't lead to anything, there's your fucking proof that you're wrong. And you want even more proof? Devin's family's house was allegedly swatted recently. That wouldn't have happened if he didn't put his name out there. He did dox Creationist Cat in that time because, again, Devin can't take criticism, so he resorts to trying to damage people's reputations and fucking with their personal lives as payback for criticizing him. But then in January 2016, AIU started spamming my real name in the chat during a hangout. And then he spread it to his fans on Twitter, and that's when I made the decision to make the video to expose how his fan tried to blackmail me and handed my name over to Devin so he could dox me. Devin and his fans will never be right about their tactics. Doxing is wrong. False flagging is wrong. Devin has doxed 7 people that I know of, including me. And for all you scumbags who claim it's just names, well here, AIU doxed where Uzulu fucking lived. And here he doxed where another friend of mine lived. Uzulu, Tim, Creationist Cat, Matt, and Random in Society all got doxed for criticism.
There's like 4 people that I can think of whose names I've revealed.
Your name is Billy Cannon. Your nickname is Vadim Newquist. You have just been true doxed. Because this is not the year of the ox, it's the year of the dox. 2016, wake the fuck up. Suck my balls, millennials. Say one fucking thing about me online. One fucking thing, and you're getting doxed. instantly.
That was Devin doxing a 14-year-old. Now, don't worry, luckily Devin got the name wrong, so I didn't just put the kid's real name out there, but of course AIU cultists will use that as an excuse. There are reasons why we're against doxing, and preventing shit like swatting is one of the main ones.
What a piece of shit. All of this mainly went down in 2016. Not a whole lot of it went down in 2017, at least to my knowledge, except this one time.
Oh, there's Devin doxing somebody in the chat.
Oh my god, he's doing it.
From that, I want to address the argument that Baring made, asking why is it that we don't make videos against AIU.
But seriously, why don't you go and have a crack at AIU? Why don't I see you doing that? Where's your videos on AIU saying, man, you're a fucking cunt. You deserve to die. Fuck you, go to hell. Where are those videos? You're quite willing to have a crack at me for associating with a bad guy, but you don't attack the bad guy. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
That is something that I should have done. I should have done more against AIU. Right, so I thought 3 hours streaming, talking with Loudmouth and all that thing, and including a significant portion of that video about him was enough. But I guess that isn't enough, and that is legitimate criticism. I will make a video specifically dedicated towards AIU, talking about all the instances of what he's done and what the appropriate reaction to him should be.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to, but I mean, if you have to be consistent like you're demanding of me, you would have.
That is valid criticism because it shows inconsistency.
Then I said this in response.
The thing is, I haven't found hardly anything of AIU worth responding to that hasn't been already responded to by, for example, the outspoken realist. I don't think that there is really anything that I could add on top of that, because as far as I know, here in 2017, he hasn't done any doxing at all.
Other than
by extension, I don't see what it is really that Humane can say about AIU and hasn't been said already. I don't think anyone made a video about Baring laughing at doxing taking place during his livestream. Perhaps we should have, and more specifically made a video about what AIU was doing right then and there. Note also, Baring has taken down the stream, so I can't look back through it to see the full context of the circumstance. In Baring's defense, he did say that he didn't know that circumstance was for real. He thought AIU was joking, and he also says that he regrets laughing at a person getting doxed, so that's all well and good.
Do you regret laughing at Devin doxing somebody live during that stream?
Yeah, absolutely. If that was someone's real name,
if that's the case, well then Humane.
Yeah.
But with what Baring says about how we ought to make videos about AIU for us to seem consistent, we aren't asking you to make response videos to AIU, Baring. What we were asking you during the whole stream is to stop buddying up with AIU. The fact that you bring up this argument seems rather pointless to the subject we're trying to bring up to you, and nothing short of a deflection tactic. All the same though, I should have brought up the evidence of him doxing in my response video to you, but now I have, so happy? Months later, Baring makes a shadow collab video with AIU in which Loudmouth calls out Baring on that ends up Humane Mind getting involved. Because of the Twitter conversation that goes down between the two and Loudmouth bragging about changing Humane's mind, this whole lie gets thrown around that Loudmouth was attacking Baring's income by supposedly telling Humane to revoke his patronship to Baring.
You had someone's income, albeit only a small amount, but some of their income removed. And I'm going to assume if you could have done more, you would have.
Nothing could be further from the truth though, listening to the first-hand testimony of said ex-patron to Baring.
So I'm kind of angry with the way that Loudmouth had worded that, because it makes the whole situation, a lot of people came to the perspective that, oh, this is terrible, and a lot of people came to your defense because if that was what was going on, he was targeting your income based on what you had done, then I would be on the opposite side as well. But knowing from my perspective that this was a completely isolated, not isolated incident, he informed me of AIU's character and all of the activity AIU was up to. And I told him, oh, well, if that's what's going on, and if Baring is supporting that sort of thing, or at least doing videos with that kind of guy, well, that to me is a hypocritical stance, and I can't support that with my dollars. And he's like, oh, you were a patron of Baring? Didn't even know that.
After the lies around Loudmouth had formed and the controversy about Baring collabing and streaming with AIU had seeded, the two main players at the time decided to have a debate stream about the whole issue. After that stream, it seemed as if though everything had cooled down. until
she was Baring deserves more, way more than he's gotten.
This was when the issue started for me. I never really understood what doxing meant until I started looking into it after Loudmouth had brought up to me how really controversial this is. I edited down and uploaded a shorter version of the stream that only included the 20 minutes where Loudmouth was talking about the whole circumstance. Baring saw the clip and decided to upload his video. At that moment, not just I, but everyone in my circle of friends thought he was editing Loudmouth out of context. About a month later, I upload my video of where I call out Baring for editing out of context and misunderstanding what Loudmouth was saying. Soon after, he makes a response video to me, of all people. I didn't really expect to have poked the bear so hard, but I did. Everyone in my circle was surprised that he hadn't made a response video to Humane Minds' video first, when really it was far more detailed than mine. Baring even saw it himself. Maybe it's because Humane is too serious of a character in his videos for Baring to crack jokes at? Sorry, Humane. Apparently you have to rip off movie characters to be responded to by Baring.
Did you ever see the movie Grandma's Boy?
Only bits and pieces, Baring.
You know JP, the weird bloke who wants to get metal legs?
I'm thinking of getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but it'll be worth it.
But now I know I have to, now that I've officially been inducted as the official JP of YouTube by you and your fans. In all seriousness though, I was actually more flattered than offended to be comedically teased in such a way by Baring. I'm also humbly thankful to Baring for playing part of my channel promo and gave a brief intro about me to his much larger fan base, which gave me a boost in subs.
I want what happened to the Wall Street Journal to happen for.
You are generalizing all Forbes contributors to be a bunch of liars just because of one single writer! You twit!
As you can see, Zack here is one conservative, libertarian, Christian ranter who argues from a pro-gun rights, pro-capitalism, pro-constitution, pro-private property, anti-social justice warrior, anti-abortion, anti-establishment, anti-authoritarian, anti-illegal immigration perspective you don't want to mess with.
Pure, unbridled rage.
But what really bugged me about the video was the fact that at the last bit of my video, he decided to just play JP clips instead of actually substantially responding to my arguments.
Is that your excuse? You enjoy interacting with doxers now, Baring?
What are you doing, JP? Just thinking about my game.
If you're so willing to have friendly associations with an unapologetic doxer, are you also willing to have the same type of associations with a murderer, a rapist, a thief, or how about a pedophile?
JP! You have a second?
You didn't knock Kane.
I mean, why did you keep ignoring them, Baring?
I make funny videos on the internet, man. I'm not a fucking investigator.
Right. Everyone likes entertainment, Baring, and mixing entertainment and information together can very likely be a good idea. I'm not arguing against that. But when you ignore responding to someone's arguments in a substantial way and do nothing but entertaining in place of that, it makes the conversation highly unproductive. Fortunately, he did have a stream with me and Humane Mind in order to seriously address the main issues that I, Humane, and Loudmouth have against him, so all's well and good. We even went over the whole editing out of context issue, and he understands how a person can be confused with that.
I can understand how you might see it differently, and so that's why I actually reached out to what's his name, Loudmouth Reviews, and said, look, I'm happy to add a notation, which I've done.
And because I mean, I've watched the video several times, and every time I hear it and see it, I'm like, oh, he's talking about AIU not Baring. But that's because I'm familiar with the subject. If you're watching this for the first time, it could go either way because it's ambiguous the way it's set up. But if you know the context beforehand, it seems to make sense.
To all the Baring fans who act like it's obvious that Loudmouth was referring to AIU as a psychopath and not Baring and call me a moron for thinking otherwise, well, I guess Baring fans are morons as well, because there were some who also thought that Loudmouth was referring to him as the psychopath. Baring explained during the stream that he wasn't intending to edit him out of context.
Just for the record, I didn't take anyone out of context intentionally.
So during our stream and everything, the whole confusing edit has been rectified. Something other we went over was the legality of doxing. I think Baring gets the point, but I want to tell you guys watching what I told Baring over the stream. According to a lawyer named Sue Basco, doxing is a crime. Doxing is always illegal, whether it is done against a federal employee, a state employee, or a regular person. There are federal and state laws that specifically address doxing government employees. With regular citizens, doxing falls under various state criminal laws such as stalking, cyberstalking, harassment, threats, and other such laws, depending on the state. And for anyone who might be wondering about international law regarding doxing, because that source mainly talks about the United States, and last I checked, I've heard that Devin Tracy lives in Germany or something. Here's a source talking about other countries' anti-doxing laws. I've been told that I'm basically an idiot for comparing doxing to rape, murder, and theft. I was clumsy in my wording of what I was trying to say during my video, but the point that I was trying to make, as I explained to Baring during our live stream,
my point is that doxing is viewed pretty much as objectively across the internet, just the same like murder, rape, and stealing are viewed as objectively immoral. I mean, they aren't just as immoral, but they are viewed as objectively heinous acts.
Was that yes, doxing is not just as immoral as murder, rape, and theft. But what those actions do have in common is that just like doxing is viewed as almost objectively immoral, so is murder, rape, and theft. And the point is, I don't think Baring would want to subject himself to the company of murderers, rapists, and thieves. So why then would he actively and kindly put himself in the same company of people who actively endanger other people by releasing their personal information? Or used to, and has never made up for it, at least. I wouldn't trust AIU to refrain from doxing ever again because of all that.
I think that would be the one thing that would like resolve this whole issue, is if we were to dig up some clip of him saying humbly that he is sorry for his actions back in 2016 and whenever else he had doxed.
You're not going to find it from him because he doesn't view doxing as something that's wrong. If you actually listen to his stuff, he says that that's what they deserve. He's saying they deserve to have their information exposed to the internet because they're hiding behind avatars. That's what his claim is.
I guess this is the main point in our live stream that I'm disappointed in, is that he said he doesn't disown the Shadow collab and live stream he did with AIU, and that he wouldn't rule out hanging around with him again.
Do you still think that it is wrong to be hanging out with an unapologetic doxer, is my question.
No,
not just the Shadow collab, by the way, but also the fact that you invited him to a stream with Copper Cab and the rest. It seemed to be a hangout stream more than.
I've got no regrets, and I'll do that again.
Not only does it show a really poor taste in character with Baring, on top of that, he berates Christy Winters all the time about her immoral behavior. But even though he says he's confronted Devin about his own actions...
I've had one conversation with him about doxing, which was the initial one, where I said that's a shit-ass act, you shouldn't do that.
Still just brushes it all off like it's nothing. I told him it's hypocritical during the stream, and I'm still saying that it's hypocritical right now.
You're one person that she has focused on, but AIU has done it to multiple people. It does seem like a bit of a double standard when you say... It's not I won't hang out with her because she did it to me personally, but I will.
No. If it was just...
can I finish my point? Sure. And then you go out of your way to hang out with the person who has done it to other people, but not you. Seems like just double standard.
No,
hypocrisy.
it's not. If it was...
After that big slap to the face, I've decided now to just come to the conclusion that he's not gonna change his way of thinking. I think that this was all fairly productive. We've solved things on the editing and the laughing at doxing, both of which Baring didn't mean to do, much less with any malice intent. Also, the whole patronship thing, and I think he understands now the main contention that I and Loudmouth have with him associating with Devin, and despite him not changing his mind, it doesn't make me think that he's an immoral human being despite being with another immoral human being. just a bad taste of character and a bit of a hypocrite. We now agree to disagree, and out of mutual respect, I'm now resubscribed to Bearing, and he's even subscribed to my channel. Hope there's no hard feelings between us, Bearing, and again, thanks for the support to my channel. Oh, one last thing. To all the Bearing trolls who are saying that I'm doing this for attention, yeah, that might be one of the contributing reasons why, but so the fuck what? I saw an opportunity to grow my channel and I seized it. But no, it was not just for growing my channel. A friend of mine I felt like was getting smeared, and so I stood up for him. I'd like it if my other YouTube friends did the same in an honest way at least. And to all calling me a drama queen, fuck you. I'm not looking to continue the Bearing Loudmouth drama any further. And Loudmouth wants the same.
But like I said, I'm honestly just not really interested in focusing on this. I just want to move on, really. But I still appreciate you like making that video to correct the record.
So, truce.